You're not going to believe where we are right now. We are in a wild place. This is probably one of those places where it hasn't rained in 400 years. The sun and the wind sculpt the snow.
They're not joking about the wind!
We're the only ones with four wheels. Welcome to Argentina. I'm back. I didn't know if anyone lived here. Said hello a bunch of times. So we'll see if anybody shows up here tonight. Let's go kayaking. Well, we've never seen a sprinter going on a flatbed car trailer like this, but there goes mi amigo Jorge in the tow truck. Feel bad for that guy. Look at where we are. We made it to Chile. Stoked. Okay, new country. And this one actually goes almost to our destination. It is a long ways down Chile. It is actually the same length tall as it is crossing the United States from coast to coast. So this is a big place. We are going to be bopping in and out of Chile and Argentina, but we're in Chile now and it feels really good. All right, we're here at the Chilean border. It's got a really cool little drive-through type thing. You can go under this roof and get in there and go through customs, but the roof is too low. I don't think Jorge or me, especially with the kayaks on the roof, are gonna fit. So we pulled over here on the side and we'll see how to go from there. We've made it to Chile officially. We just went through customs, got the van imported, got ourselves imported, and we are here. And look at this. I don't know what I'm more excited about, being in Chile or having this beautiful paved road for us to drive on, because it has been about 5 days of some of the worst washboard we've seen. But we're here now, we're super excited. The process was pretty easy getting into Chile. The only thing they had issue with was some of our produce. We had to relinquish some of that. And super nice guys, super easy process.
We're in Chile, we're in Chile.
So here we are in Chile, we're super fired up. Let's get on down the road and see what Chile has in store for us. Hopefully some food, because we're all starving. We just also noticed we are at 15,270 feet. This is our highest border crossing to date. Now we're gonna drop thousands of feet going down to the next town. Good morning, Chile. You're not going to believe where we are right now. You got it. I saw you drive over there.
I did.
This is a really cool sculpture where it looks like, well, you're seeing it right behind me. It's a hand sticking up through the ground in the desert. I think it's pretty neat. This pretty much happened to be on our route anyway, but we wanted to come here, check this place out, do some photos, and just see what it's all about. And it's funny how an artist will make something like this and it kind of becomes so popular. It brings so many people to the area. We rolled in here last night, it was dark, and there must have been 30 people here doing selfies and little TikTok videos and whatnot next to the hand. And it went on quite late. I was thinking I would photograph last night, but there were so many people here, I just decided that I was gonna let them have it and I would get up early in the morning and do my thing, and turned out perfect because no one was here at dawn. I had the whole thing to myself, and that's kind of the way I like it. I think that's maybe the best and worst thing about Instagram is it brings people to places they might not normally go. Now that can have impacts like in the wilderness, but it can also be cool places like this that are set up to handle people like this. I mean, this is just a big, giant, empty spot in the desert off the side of a highway. It's fun coming to these places that you would not have normally have even given two thoughts. When something like this goes in, it really draws the people in. I can't believe we're in Chile. It's kind of striking me as, wow, we are really getting down here now in South America. We started this trip in Alaska over a year ago, and I was looking on the map yesterday, and we had gone like this far on the map from Alaska to Chile, and we have about this far to go from where we are now to Ushuaia, the tip of Argentina. So we're getting down here, and that's amazing because this trip seemed so massive a couple of years ago. I mean, we knew we could do it, but it seemed overwhelmingly long and just so involved. And to think, we're getting really far down here. We are in Chile. So that's pretty exciting. And soon we're gonna jump into Argentina for our first time. And that's gonna be fun too. And you know, working our way south from here, we're gonna be crisscrossing the border of Chile and Argentina quite a bit. So I don't know, it feels kind of surreal. We're gonna pack up here from the hand. We're gonna get moving southbound. We'll see what's in store for us today. Look at where we are. We spent the night right here on the Pacific coast. We're on this craggy, rocky peninsula with a lighthouse behind us. Quite a different experience from being in the Atacama desert. We've made it to the coast. Now, not to say we aren't headed back towards the desert, but this has been a nice little break from the dryness, from the sunshine. We're here on kind of a cloudy, cool coastline. And this is my favorite type of coast. I love the rocky, cool coasts. And we found one. Now, I would love to show you guys this with the drone, but I am in a restricted airspace and I can't fly right now, but it is spectacular. And we camped for free right here on this point. And we were able to park the vans with the sounds of the waves crashing on the rocks. There's birds flying around. We've even heard reports that they have penguins here. I've yet to see a penguin, but I would love to. The water is so rich, dark blue. It is just beautiful. But this is just a stopover on our way south, and then we're gonna be kicking back a little east. There is promise of a really nice modern grocery store, which we have not seen one of those really since central Peru. And so we're all kind of craving some good things from the grocery store. And we really need to resupply since the Chilean border took all of our produce and meat. But this is a beautiful spot, and what a great place to spend the night. We're in a town called Copiapo, Chile, and we're about to go in our first possibly modern grocery store in a very long time. And I gotta admit, I'm kind of excited about it, which to all you guys sitting in the USA or wherever, this is probably gonna seem so boring to you, but this is so exciting to us. Here we are, we're walking through the threshold. This place is looking promising. And you know, it's funny, like the thing I am the most excited about is to make a turkey sandwich. Okay, we've had a wonderful shopping experience. There's Barbie dolls, there's sliced chicken breast, there's great bakery with breads. I found my dairy-free yogurt that I like. Things are looking up. I feel like we've crossed the desert and we're to the other side and we're back in civilization.
We have been living on chicken and rice and potatoes, and that's it for 2 months now. So to get fresh fruits and vegetables and all kinds of things, it's just really, really exciting.
Chile, you're awesome. We love you. Good morning, Chilean Atacama Desert. We're still here. We made it to a little town, did some repairs and some work on the van. My brakes were sticking a little bit and felt good to get that ironed out. Hopefully it's ironed out now. Seems to be working fine right now. And now we are in a wild place. Look at this. This is another part of the Atacama Desert. This is probably one of those places where it hasn't rained in 400 years that I've read about, because right where I'm standing, there is nothing here but rocks. I guess I shouldn't say rocky. They're more like, it's like really fine gravel. Can you see this? It's just like dirt and tiny little rocks. And that's what makes up this whole landscape that we're in. Now we're not that high right now. We're at about, I think 10,000 feet. So breathing is easy here. We're acclimatized now for over 14, so that feels good. But we are getting ready to drive over another 15,000 foot pass, and we are gonna go to Argentina today. So today is a border day. Has all the normal, things. We got to read about the border. We got to see what fruits and vegetables we can and can't bring. But this is an unusual border in that it's only open on Tuesdays and Fridays. So we've actually been killing a little bit of time waiting for today to come. It's Friday now, so that we can cross the San Francisco border here. We're on a mission to go pick up our daughter Abby, who's flying in to Santiago in 11 days. We got a couple things we want to see on the way, and we want to do a quick little loop through northern Argentina, and that's where we're headed now. All right, so we're packing up camp here. Let's do this. Let's go to Argentina. This right here is the Chilean immigration as we're getting ready to go over San Francisco Pass into Argentina. We just got to get our paperwork checked out. All right, we are through. We are stamped out of Chile. Look at this beautiful station here. This is great. And now we have a 2-hour drive until we get to the Argentinian immigration office and tip station. So there's quite a no man's land here. This is quite a gap between the official checkpoints. OMG. We are at 14,500 feet here in the Atacama Desert, crossing the Andes, and we found water in one of the driest places in the world. Check this out. All right now we are in kind of a no man's land. We've still got about an hour and a half, 2 hours before we get to the Argentinian immigration office. We haven't actually crossed the physical border into Argentina yet, but it's beautiful. What a cool spot. Okay, this is exciting. We are at the top of San Francisco Pass. This is really neat. My Garmin is saying we're at 15,639 feet. This is pretty high, and I think it's gonna be a little breezy when I go outside. Here we go. Oh man, I can barely open the door. It is windy. I guess that's par for the course for the Andes. The sun and the wind sculpt the snow into these things called penitentes. They're little spikes of snow. As the snow melts, it forms these. And they're kind of unique to the Andes. I was hoping we would see them while we're here. This is really neat.
They're not joking about the wind!
Let's go to Argentina now. Okay, here we are. This is the immigration office for Argentina, coming down from the San Francisco Pass. All right, we're here at the Argentinian border. There is the normal border checks here, the aduana and the immigration office. And then over here they have a small hospital, which is kind of cool. There's an ambulance. That's just shows how remote we are in this place right here. Crossing this border, it is very far from anything. Seems like this is mostly a motorcycle border. There's tons of adventure riders here crossing the border. We're the only ones with 4 wheels. We have checked into the country for our passport. We've checked in at the aduana. The last step is he wants to do an inspection of our van, and then we're, I think, good to go. All right, welcome to Argentina. I'm back. I've been here once before. I'm super stoked to be here again. We made it through customs. The inspector came in the van. He went through our silverware drawer, through the back of the van. He looked under our mattress. He gave it a better look than the last 10 countries did. But we have nothing to hide, so he had nothing to find. And we are through. We are into Argentina. So we found an old mud brick building near where we're camping. I came over here. I didn't know if anyone lived here. I kind of said hello a bunch of times and then started looking around, and it's clear this is abandoned. We're seeing lots of bicycle touring folks on this leg. This would probably be an amazing place for them to come and camp in this old ruins, get them out of the wind, and having a place to sit and a place to cook would be, I think, pretty awesome. Let's look around a little more and see what there's to see. There's tables that you can sit at. It's got concrete floors. Seems like maybe people have been staying in here. Here's an old wood stove. I assume these cans hanging here were used to cook on. They're kind of charred on the bottom. There's some cans hanging up here. This is somebody's mug. It's just hanging on a hook up here from the ceiling. You can tell some overlanders have been here. People on motorcycles, because they've left their stickers. There's a concrete table. There's a fireplace here in the corner. And this is still warm. It's putting off heat. Each room has this little crucifix. The ceiling is like some sort of reeds with concrete on the top of it, and these rafters. And then this is the only room that still has a window with glass in it and a door. And it has this table with seating. It's an old railroad tie. And it actually has a door that closes with a little bit of cardboard to replace the broken window. This is pretty interesting. I think somebody's still using it to some degree, so we'll see if anybody shows up here tonight. But we're camped just right over here, down by the river. Should be a good spot for tonight. All right, good morning. We're here in Canyon del Indio. We've been able to drive into this amazing canyon further than I thought from when I initially looked at it on the map. And it's gonna be about, I don't know, maybe a kilometer or so up the canyon to where there's some really cool rock formations. It pinches down and forms a slot canyon of sorts. It's gonna be fun because this is gonna be my first slot canyon of South America. So as you know from past episodes, Kathy hurt her ankle and it is healing, but not as fast as we would like. So she decided to not push it. She's gonna hang back at the van, play her guitar. So I'm on my own. I'm gonna go explore this canyon. All right, I'm leaving the parking lot behind. So far, just walking up this sandy wash. There's little rock ledges here and there, big boulders. But the canyon around me is just super intricate, of pointy ridges, big flat iron faces. It's pretty neat. This reminds me a lot of one of my favorite states, Utah. And normally, this time of year, I'd be in Utah, so I've kind of been missing it lately. And this has given me a nice little taste of something new, but also familiar. Hanging out in the canyon country is one of my favorite things. The ladder here help us get up one of these ledges. That'll be nice. Rickety. Ah, shady spot. Sure feels good. I probably should be doing this canyon a little later in the day when the whole canyon bottom is in shade. But I'm here now, so I'm doing it now. All right, I think I'm here right now in the narrows of the canyon. This is really spectacular. It feels so good to be in the canyon country. This has been a wonderful hike. I'm really glad we stopped here. And the only way I found out about this place was we stopped to get water at this hostel and there was a poster on the wall. And just as I was casually walking by, it caught my eye and I started looking at it. Then I went to Google and I Google searched it and here I am. I'm so glad I'm here. This place is awesome. Well, this is very, very exciting. I'm in a place that I haven't been to since 2017, where I flew to Argentina and photographed the World Championships of Freestyle Kayaking. I was the official photographer for the ICF, the International Canoe Federation, who's the governing body of whitewater kayaking. And I came to San Juan, Argentina, a place that I had to look it up on the map. I wasn't quite sure where it was, but I knew that they had a growing sport of kayaking there, and they had a new whitewater park with a very amazing feature. Now, feature is what we call a standing wave that's in the river. The current comes down, it drops over some rocks, and it forms a standing wave. And the whole world of kayaking came here late November and was here to crown the next world champions. It seemed like a crazy trip then. It was my first time to South America, but this time there was no plane flight involved. I've driven myself here in my own Winnebago. It's gonna be cool. I'm ready to go kayaking. It has been a lot of driving. I've paddled far less than I normally would, and I'm ready to kind of work on fixing that. The park is closed, but our friend Maxi, who's an Argentinian who is an amazing kayaker and helps run this place, he has let us in and he's gonna allow us to camp here. And today I've got the feature all to myself, which is pretty awesome. I'm really excited just to be back here. Enough talking, let's go kayaking. right, I don't know if you remembered back in Peru, George's van suffered a little power failure. Turns out we thought it was bad fuel. Well, here we are now in Argentina, and the symptoms have arisen again. We were driving down the road, George started losing power, and the van started sputtering and carrying on like it wasn't getting fuel, and it wouldn't run anymore. Last time we tried changing fuel filters and did a bunch of things that we thought might be on the road fixes, and none of them helped. So we had George's van towed to a Mercedes shop, and they mysteriously fixed it. They said they didn't really change anything, they just added a little more fuel, and it seemed to be fine. Well, here we are again. So now these guys are here from the Mercedes dealer in San Juan, Argentina, and they're gonna tow his van back to the dealer and hopefully get this resolved.
The problem is the hook is very shallow.
Well, we've never seen a Sprinter going on a flatbed car trailer like this, but you're on the ramp. Boy, I am not sure their winch has enough oomph to pull the van on this trailer. Okay, now we're using George's winch to winch it on. Boy, yeah, if your tires were any wider, you wouldn't fit. Your winch is just outrunning his. We just gotta get your rear tires on. It's no bien, it's just pulling down. You need to put this over here. Pull it up. Maybe. So they're trying to get the rears to line up. I've never seen this trick before, but he's driving a little bit to try to wag the trailer. Hopefully that'll get it lined up. That did straighten the trailer out underneath you though. Going up.
Good thing we had a winch.
Maybe next time we need a wider trailer. Right now they're lowering the jack that raises and lowers the trailer. And I assume we're gonna winch it up just a little more to get it all the way on. There you go, you're off the trailer. Oh, más grande. Okay, so there goes the truck. Without Jorge, without his van, without anything really. They sent too small of a trailer and we got the van on it, but as it started to come down, as you probably can see, the winch was gonna hit where their winch on the front was, and should have probably been a sign from the get-go when their winch wasn't strong enough to pull the van onto the trailer. We lowered the van back off the trailer and they called Jose, who's another guy who's coming with like a real legit tow truck. And now we're waiting 2 more hours. It's gonna be almost dark and there should be another truck coming that hopefully is big enough and can get George moving forward. One thing that we just thought of that George is gonna make right now is a little stat sheet that has a picture of the van. It has how wide, how tall, how long it is. It has the weight, and something that we can then share with anybody who needs to know about our van. And you know, this is the second time George has been towed, and I think that'd be kind of handy for both of us to have, especially when we don't speak the local language, something that would just give it in pounds and kilograms, and we could just attach that to a message in WhatsApp and they would know everything they need to know about our vans. All right, tow truck number 2 is here. This one looks more promising.
This looks to be the right size. Not quite as terrifying as that little trailer behind a Hilux.
Does this remind you of Peru and your last tow?
Oh my gosh, this is so much better. But yeah, this is getting all too common.
There you go. All right, Jorge's going on the truck. This seems more promising, those two guys with the pickup truck and the flatbed trailer. I think this is gonna work. She's a big girl. Papa's going on. All right, they're getting George loaded up. He is going to be taken to a diesel repair shop in San Juan, Argentina. And he'll know more tomorrow because they're going to be closed when he gets there. So they're just going to, I guess, drop him as close as they can. And then tomorrow they'll work on figuring this out. You're welcome. Let us know whatever you need. See ya, Jorge. There goes mi amigo Jorge in the tow truck. Feel bad for that guy. It has been his second tow on the Pan Am. I hope it's not contagious, but he's gonna get it ironed out. It doesn't seem like it's a big problem, but it's a problem nevertheless. And I think they're gonna have everything they need to be able to get him fixed up. Fingers crossed, we're gonna hear from him later tonight once he gets into town and gets settled, and then they'll start working on his van tomorrow. We'll keep you guys updated.